Okay, David Wick of the Lake George Park Commission, Governor Andy Cuomo of New York State, and Basil Sagos at Department of Environmental Conservation. New York State has the worst coronavirus mess in the whole United States. And all those leaking septic tanks all around Lake George, where 4 million tourists every year come up to Lake George and wash their genitals and their boxer shorts and their panties and all their swimsuits in Lake George. They bring all those butt cracks upstate to eat the pizza and the lasagna and drink all that beer and wine and all the booze in the saloons and the bar rooms around Lake George and pee-pee into the septic tanks and poo-poo into the sewage systems that are all leaching and leaking into Lake George. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you got the worst COVID-19 infection spread rate in the United States. And New York State Environmental Conservation is permitting and licensing the dumping of massive amounts of semi-treated, kind of treated, well, did we really treat it, sewage and all the rivers and the lakes of New York State. Lake Champlain is a damn septic tank, Andy Cuomo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, David Wick at the Lake George Park Commission, the New York State Health Department at the Municipal Center in Warren County, New York. Chrissy Miller, you have a health department right there in the Municipal Center. This idea you don't have a health department and you don't have any records, that was a lie. You lied to me, Chrissy Miller, and the Warren County Board of Supervisors. Somebody lied about it. Y'all are lying about the leaking septic systems all around Lake George, spreading viruses and bacteria out the gazoo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, jig's up. You're going to clean up those lakes. You're going to quit flushing Lake George, David Wick. That's what you're doing. You're the lake flusher. It's time for a reality check on Lake George, folks. Old Judd Witham's been telling it like it is for many years. In the federal courts, all the way to the United States Supreme Court. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm on the record in the federal courts where they've destroyed Lake George with sewage, septic, leachate that's leaking into the lake and spreading viruses and bacteria to thousands, 4 million tourists come up from New York City to wash their bathing suits, their panties, and their boxer shorts, to clean off their buttholes and their genitals in Lake George. It's a great big bathtub, Lake George, New York. So let's see, are we going to close down Lake George this year? Are we closing down the tourist traps of upstate New York because of COVID-19? Ladies and gentlemen, as always, hasta la vista, God bless, and all the details and all the proof, and the Supreme Court and the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals and the federal courts in North Carolina are full of the facts that this guy right here, broadcast to the world. Now, David Wick, stop flushing Lake George.